Guess who's back with another romanticizing video? I've done a romanticizing autumn and a romanticizing winter. My romanticizing spring video will be coming sometime in March. I'm not an expert at it, but I had to kind of force myself and learn how to romanticize life to get through some really tough shit. These are 40 things that I actually apply in my own life that makes me feel like I'm living in a movie. So before I start, I just want to say you have to be comfortable with being by yourself, which is something that I struggled for a very long time. And another thing is that romanticizing life is not about making it perfect. It's about learning how to get through the good and the bad days. The first thing is to think of your life as a movie. So if your life was a movie, would your audience boo you for anything that you're doing? I constantly have that in my head. If you feel like your life is so boring that you would not watch that movie at all, change something up. Literally anything. Change your mindset. Otherwise, this whole romanticizing thing just won't work. If you're thinking negative things, you're gonna attract negative things. But if you are thinking positive, then you're gonna get positive things. And I know it's so much easier said than done, but learning how to practice those steps is so important. You need to take the first step. Taking the first step is better than not taking a single step, and this is coming from a retired pessimist. The type of foods that you consume. So eat healthy breakfasts, eat healthy snacks. There's a lot of evidence that you can find online that eating healthier just genuinely improves your mood. Going on Pinterest was actually what convinced me to eat healthier, because I was seeing all these meals and I was like, whoa, that looks really good. Going on morning walks or a sunset walk, especially with my music in my headphones, it genuinely felt like I was living in a movie. Wear cute outfits, and if you can't afford the really expensive clothes, Vinted. Half of my wardrobe is Vinted. I'm just so picky with first-hand clothes now, because I'd go in store and be like, I am not paying £50 for 100% polyester while I can get the same thing or even cuter on Vinted for £5 and it's 100% cotton. I love to dress as if I'm a girly cute character in a cartoon show. Even if people look at you weirdly, it is your life. They are not wearing your clothes, so they have no reason to be pissed at what you're wearing. Another thing I love to do is to take myself on solo dates, especially going to the cinema by myself. I used to be so reluctant about going to the cinema myself, and I would try to find anybody who would go to the cinema with me. So I was just like, let me try going to the cinema by myself. The thought of it was scary, but doing it, I was like, it's actually not as bad as you think. I prefer going to the cinema by myself than with other people now. Go to a cafe and read a book with your headphones, or journal in the park, which is something I did a lot last year. It just teaches you to not be so dependent on other people. You can find your own happiness within yourself, and you can do things for yourself without having to rely on anybody else. Sign up for a yoga class. When I do that, I feel like I'm in a 2000s movie. It is so fun. I love going to yoga every Wednesday. I met a lot of new people in my yoga class, and my yoga teacher is so sweet. If there are no yoga classes around you, or you just don't want to go to yoga class, you don't feel comfortable with doing that, do it at home. Make it like a routine, even if it's for 5-10 minutes. I don't think you can romanticize life without music, personally. Anything I do, I have music playing in the background, especially if it's something I don't want to do. If I don't want to vacuum up my room, my schoolwork, I put music in the background and all of a sudden everything is fine. I have a playlist called Coming of Age. It has music in there that would be my soundtrack if I had an actual movie. Spend time with your friends. Get comfortable with being by yourself, but also don't isolate yourself. If you haven't seen someone in a really long time, reach out to them and meet up. It's good to also have companionship. We're human. It's normal for us to want to connect with somebody else. Turn your routines into a ritual. For example, my morning routine is a whole ritual. I love making my matcha in the morning. I used to make iced lattes, but I feel like making matcha is a lot more therapeutic for me. And another thing I like to do occasionally is putting candle lights at night when I'm having a shower. The whole bathroom is just in a darkish, warm glow. I've got Erykah Badu, Ravina, Sade. I've got all those people playing in the background. It's a vibe. It's a real vibe. Acknowledge the current weather. I love doing this a lot. If I'm in the bus or if I'm in the car, if I'm at home, I would just stop and I just find myself just staring outside the window, noticing how the rain is falling, the sounds, and the color of the sky. I feel like when you start romanticizing life, you start to see these tiny details. stop neglecting yourself. Like I used to ignore my back pain for so long because I was just so fed up, and I was like, okay, I actually need to do something about this. So I started doing yoga and like stretches every day, and the pain has reduced. It's still there, but it's reduced, and I'm happy. I'm not in constant pain all the time. For studying, go to a cafe. I am not a library person, maybe except for the library of my uni because it's very aesthetic. I love studying in the cafe. Hearing the noises is like a type of white noise for me, so I can focus so well. Even sometimes when I'm at home, there's this website called I Miss My Cafe, and it has cafe noises, and I listen to that, and it's so helpful when I need to lock in. During A-levels, I studied history, philosophy and ethics, and sociology. So what I would do is I'd go on YouTube and I would find music that correlates with what I was studying. For example, like I said, I did philosophy, so I would go on YouTube and I would find philosophy playlist music, and the philosophy playlist that I used to listen to, a playlist to study like a medieval philosopher having the truth revealed by divine grace. And it was so interesting. Like it actually motivated me to keep going with my revision. If I was studying for history, this playlist will make you feel like a 19th century villain. Literally, depending on whatever subject you're studying for, go on YouTube and put that subject playlist music, and you will see so many. Make a skincare ritual. So every Sunday, I like to perform my skincare ritual. So it involves face masks. I love to drink orange juice or like matcha in a wine glass, because why not? Get creative with your drinks. I love coming up with new recipes for my matcha or my iced latte. Like I have so many different flavors that I've made, and if you don't like matcha or latte, come up with new milkshake recipes. Like Pinterest has so many recipes, so many things that you might not have even thought of, and you'd be like, wow, I can totally do that. Take your nighttime routine seriously. Sleeping is very, very important, and if you don't get enough sleep, your brain won't think properly and you will think it's the end of the world. Another thing which I think is so cool is having a signature color. I feel like anybody who looks at me would just know what my favorite color is. Have a keepsake box where you keep like a bunch of things that are really sentimental to you. So I have one, and it's my Adidas like shoe box, and I just keep a bunch of things in there that just mean anything to me. Like it could be so random. It could be a photo booth strip, it could be a receipt to, I don't know, your first date, or like just anything that has meaning to you. Write a letter to your future self. So I actually wrote a physical letter to my future self to read, I think at the end of this year. I found this during lockdown when I was 13. It's called Future Me. It's a website where you write a letter to your future self, and on the date that you select, it will send you that letter. So when I was 13, I wrote myself a letter to 18-year-old me, asking a bunch of different questions and how it feels to finally be an adult. I was bawling because I completely forgot I had wrote that letter to myself. But yeah, I think I wrote myself another letter for when I turned 20 this year, when I was 18. I don't remember a single thing I wrote, but I'm very excited to see what's inside it. You have to have the same email address. So I was very lucky I did not change my email address, and it's something I still use now. If you change your email address, you're obviously not going to get it. So make sure the email address you enter is an email address you think you're going to have for whenever you receive it. People watch and make like little stories and backstories in your head. Obviously, don't look like a creep. I like to do that if I'm in the bus looking outside the window, or if I'm like in a cafe by myself. I like to look outside and the people walking by, I like to like imagine the lives that they have. Sometimes I forget that these people actually have their own lives. There's a word for it. I think it's sonder. Try something you thought you would never do and just see what happens. I thought I would never dye my hair. I was so afraid of dyeing my hair because I'm very afraid of change. I was like, oh my god, what if I hate the color? What if it looks so weird on me? And here we are. I am still dyeing my hair every couple of months. Sometimes you actually never know what could happen. Like if you see a program, just do it. If you fail or if you don't get in, it's fine because there's something better waiting for you. And if you do get in, it was supposed to happen. There's like this saying in my head that constantly repeats itself over and over again. If I'm afraid to do something, when I'm 80, I'd rather look back and say I'm glad I did that even if I failed, than sit with regret wondering what could have been. Don't live your life in regret. Take those chances. I think that quote is like a mix of things that I've heard and read, but I tried wording it as best as I could. Personalize your belongings. I love adding stickers to any flat surface I can find. There's stickers all over my laptop, all over my iPad, all over my headphones. I want to customize my clothes more. Like I want to add stitching to my clothes, like colorful stitching. I want to add buttons to my jeans. Find hairstyles for your hair length. My hair is a lot shorter than it was a year ago, so I had to find new hairstyles. hairstyles that actually do suit my hair length. I just feel like it makes me feel a lot more cuter when I have different hairstyles. Another fun thing I like to do, which is also, I like to say, a form of manifestation, is to go window shopping and try on clothes even if you don't intend on buying it. Like sometimes I would go to H&M or Zara and I would just pick out a bunch of clothes that I think would look good on me and I would try it on. But sometimes it was a bit of a sticky situation because I shouldn't be spending this money, but this looks so good on me. So I'd end up buying it. I'm just like, damn. Be careful with that a little bit, especially if you have no self-control when it comes to clothes like me. Go to a fancy cafe or a high-end restaurant and order the cheapest thing on the menu. Like honestly, it's actually not as bad as you think. Like there was one place that me and my friends went to, I forgot what it's called, but I literally pulled up wearing like a hoodie and sweatpants and we went to this really fancy cafe and the prices were a lot cheaper than some of the places that I've been to, and I was like, okay, that is also another form of manifestation, guys. Fake it till you make it. Overdress to certain occasions or to certain places. When I was going to school, I wore a yellow lacy dress that did not look like I was going to school at all, but I wore it because I felt like, why not? I might as well. I have this dress in my wardrobe, I should wear it. Even if you're going like to Asda or Tesco or some sort of like supermarket, it's not something I've done, but I will start doing because I've never thought of that. Get pieces of paper, write compliments or some sort of like motivational advice and go to a library and put them inside the books for strangers to find. If I saw a piece of paper in a book that I got from the library that said you shouldn't accept a life that you don't deserve, I would break. I would like be like, oh my god, I'd actually go insane in a good way. Like, this is so sweet. Learn something new. Like, learn anything. Learn a couple words or a couple phrases in a different language. I feel like I've said before, I'm a very, very big history nerd. So every month I like to pick a topic and I would research that topic for a month. Practice some sort of meditation. Like, my favorite meditations would be like a post-yoga meditation where I have like my acupressure mat and I'm just like laying on it for like 20 minutes and my mind is like in a different world. And another thing would be shower meditation, which is where you like visualize the water taking away all your stress and like worries. So definitely look into different types of meditations. Another thing that I love doing, because I love cooking, I like to have the Ratatouille soundtrack playing in the background. It makes me feel like I'm cooking in the Ratatouille movie. Ratatouille is my favorite Disney movie. Get rid of anybody who threatens your peace. I saw this quote on Pinterest that said, don't let someone ruin your peace just because they can't find theirs. Now that is a bar. They're not serving anything good in your life but being negative, and you don't need that negativity in your life anymore because you are making a life that you like. And if they are going to threaten that, you get rid of that threat. That sounds really bad. Not like get rid of them in that way, just like cut them off. While I'm doing my skincare, or especially if I'm doing my makeup, I like to play classical Italian love movie soundtracks. That is such a long sentence. Artists like Piero Piccioni, Henry Mancini, Armando Trovajoli. I have a whole playlist I will link in the description where it's called An Italian Summer and the vibes are insane. Reward yourself for an achievement, and this achievement doesn't even have to be big. The achievement could be studying for a really difficult exam or passing for a really difficult exam. I don't give myself a lot of credit for all the good things that I've done or the achievements I've made. I feel like once I've achieved something, I'm just like, yeah, finally it's done. I tend to devalue my achievements, so I like to nowadays reward myself for something that I thought I would never achieve or never get. Stop being in a rush and to take things slowly. I feel like I'm always rushing to do everything. I'm trying to do things a lot slower. Like, there's no rush. I'm not going anywhere. Why am I like always on edge? Just take life slowly. Make some time to just like sit down and just observe things, you know? Make a reverse bucket list. I like to do this every year, but I think I'm gonna start doing it every month now. But a reverse bucket list is a record of achievements, experiences, and milestones you've already accomplished in life instead of things you wish to do. So I feel like when you're writing down everything that you've done, any amazing achievement that you've made, it makes you aware of your worth and what you can actually do. Do one spontaneous thing a month and write it down. For example, in my journal, I call it chapters. January is chapter 1, February would be chapter 2, March would be chapter 3. So at the end of the year, I should have 12 chapters. The one spontaneous thing I decided to do in January was to buy myself a vlog camera. Now, the last thing, which I think is a very important point, and it's something I always reflect on, especially if I'm like feeling afraid of what other people think about me or feeling afraid about how I'm presenting myself, it's to remember that it's not selfish to do what you want or to take care of yourself or to invest in yourself, because you have to remember that you are stuck with yourself for the rest of your life. So if you want to spend money on the way you look, the way you feel, on what you eat, on what you dress, or what you do, it's okay to do that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope this helped you in some sort of way. I hope it mainly motivated you to start looking at life through a different lens. So I will see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.